Look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to support every Patreon you ever wanted in one moment, would you pledge it? Or just let it slip? Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, original content heavy. There's content on his sweater already, mom's spaghetti. We're nervous, but on the surface we look calm and ready. You better lose yourself in the content, the dungeons, you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to pledge. This opportunity comes once in a pay period. Patreon.com/Goblins and Growlers.
Look, as somebody who makes Pokemon teams for all of the characters on this show, Koza was given a furret so quickly. And immediately. Also, furrets are taller than Charizard. That's a factoid nobody needed to know, but it is true and canonical in Pokemon.
I needed to know.
Yeah, furrets are taller than Charizard. They are longer than Charizards are tall, and they stand up on their little hind feeties, and they are taller than Charizard. Charizard's only like 5'6".
None of what you just said made sense.
I'm just looking at Gabe's mildly horrified face. Because clearly he did not know that, and it brings me... I know, they're huge! Furrets are enormous!
Yeah, none of that
Why are
made
you
sense.
saying it that way? Why are you saying furrets?
Because that's the name of the Pokemon!
Yeah. Have you been inferreting something?
Alright.
There we go.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
You're going to build these large enough crates with these gaps between the bars so that they resemble kind of cages. Alita and Boat will respectively get into theirs, and Koza, you pull back your magic and shoot it forward to transform them. I need you to let me know what goes on, how this goes.
Yeah, so Koza tries their best to turn them into what they wanted. But at the end of the day, he's also just a little druid, little mushroom druid.
It's a little guy.
And at first you see Boat, and he begins to transform into a roughly, like his flesh bends into the shape of a wolf. But then instead of sprouting like fur and stuff, it's just like mushrooms and like tendrils and stuff start sprouting out. And he's now this like mound of fungus with this vaguely wolf-like shape. And it's like, well, that's close enough. Lita, now it's your turn. Are you ready?
I was before I saw this happen to
Oh, anyway. And casts again another polymorph. And this time, again, the flesh begins to like bend into the shape of this horse-like shape, this unicorn shape. But then, like, at the moment you expect to see like the horn pop out of this human flesh that has been turned into a horse shape, instead a big tall mushroom pops out, and then all the rest of the like all the rest of the skin like transforms into just like weird mushrooms and funguses, and there's like just like mycelia kind of like blah, 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 all over the place.
Gabe is cackling.
In a
Gross, I hate it.
In a somewhat unicorn shape.
Solinar, Johannes, you two come down to see Koza has accomplished sort of what he said he was planning with your friends.
Ugh.
They look like topiaries.
Yeah, this is distressing.
I like it.
Oh, I tried my best. I don't know if it
You know what? It shows, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think it came across. It came across as very artistic.
Ugh. And they're like this for an hour?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get the wagon hitched to Snuffles. Get on underway.
You all are taking the reveal that Snuffles is a golden dragon very well. Still hitching up the wagon to this majestic, trapped beast.
Snuffles is a golden dragon.
You teach people how to treat you.
Alon, did you forget that was a thing we revealed?
I totally forgot. Did we really do that? Was on
Yeah.
the boat?
We did that.
Yes!
I forgot that too.
Man.
That was the whole latter half of the previous episode.
God, that must have been a big reveal too.
The huge reveal.
I remember talking to Snuffles. I remember Snuffles saying, didn't Snuffles say not a dragon? Was that, am I crazy?
No. Snuffles ate some, like, Newton's cradle.
Uh-huh.
And then kept
Executive
indicating...
balls.
And then kept indicating that we were showing the wrong kind of dragon
Okay.
until we pulled out some silver and gold, and then Snuffles indicated the gold.
Ah. A high class, snuffly situation. Okay, well, big reveal. Wow.
All right. So you're hitching up the wagons and getting your best. Johannes, this is a moment for you. You need to safely pompous noble your friend's way into this town.
Literally no problem.
All right. Solinar, what are you going to be doing as you sneak about?
I don't think the smartest thing to do here is for Solinar to try to do like rogue shenanigans. I think the smartest thing to do here is for Solinar to sit quietly in the back of the cart with the shambling mounds and act like he's supervising them.
Okay. Koza, are you going to transform as well, or are you going to stay person-y?
I'll go ferret mode.
Activate ferret mode. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Heck yeah.
Kozatron.
Johannes, you are going to come down the walk.
From this cloud.
You're gonna come down the walk onto the dock, and a man in gleaming armor is going to walk up to you. His helmet sort of pulled low over his eyes. He's gonna kind of tap his pen. He goes, "What you got there?"
Hello, fellow helmet armor gleamer. What I got here, look, my friends just told me I really this is my time to shine, so just between you and me, we're embezzling creatures.
He kind of like looks over. We'll embezzle him out of Alaria.
Yeah.
Got it.
Straight from Malaria.
You looks over. Family? Crest? Got anything proving you are who you say you are?
Oh my god, so many things. I got these rings that I wear, and then these ones that I don't. I've got this belt buckle.
That's more than sufficient, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got more. I actually adjusted my nails with all my crests.
And what is it that you are traveling here with? What is it you got there in the crates?
This is almost a unicorn, and this is almost a winter wolf.
I see that they are roughly in that shape abouts, but what are the actual creatures there?
They're like topiaries, but dangerous.
All right, good enough for me. All right, sir, if you would be so kind as to put your seal here.
Writes on their clipboard, danger topiary.
There's the seal.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Where are you heading?
Oh, I don't actually know that.
What?
I don't know the answer to that. What? Captain wouldn't know either. Do you know where am I supposed to head? To the capital? Is that where I'm going? I think to the capital.
Why don't you know where you're going?
I forget things like this literally all the time. I think it's the capital.
You got it written down somewhere?
Maybe.
Apologies, sir, but we were told that we would be meeting someone
Hey,
in the
Solinar.
warehousing district.
We're meeting somebody in the warehousing district is what I'm
where are
being
you
told we
from?
were told.
Who are you?
Oh, that's Solinar. He helps me, and I help him. We're a team.
Takes all kinds. All right, so sounds good enough to me. All right.
Oh, here's my global entry.
Yes, no. Sir Forger, I was expecting that you had that already prepared. All right, wonderful.
No,
all
it's not a forger. It's a Fulgur.
You Alarians, phrasing. All right. Well, any traitor to Alaria is a friend to the Boris Empire. Enjoy Nestia.
Thank you very much.
He gestures behind him and then begins heading over to the next ship.
Oh, wait. I've got food. I've got perishables. I forgot to declare.
He kind of like looks over, shrugs, and then goes back to what he was doing.
So many limes.
You all are able to get into the town proper. And despite the fact that there's just this very thin sort of layer of frost on top of everything, it's still very cool, it's still very chill, but the town still is pretty lively. Everybody's kind of bustling around, the market seems to be doing fairly well. The town isn't exactly enormous, but it's definitely a port town with several inns and taverns.
This place is pretty cool and chill, don't you think?
Yeah, emphasis on chill.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that you are in enemy territory and everybody here theoretically wants to kill you.
Theoretically, I feel cool and chill, but not because I feel at ease. In fact, I feel alert.
Well, we definitely need supplies before we leave town, and we should probably get some clothes that let us blend in a little better with the locals. Do you want to stick with the cart and I will try and pop in and get us stuff? Or do you want to pop in and get us stuff and I'll stick with the cart?
I'll stick with the cart, and because they used my seal so that these creatures are my responsibility.
Oh, good call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Solinar isn't even going to wait for the cart to stop. He's just going to jump off and try to locate and step into some kind of tailoring or clothing related, somewhere he can get us some local cold weather gear.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to duck into a shop called Wren's Wools, and everything in there seems to be made to put off the Barosian chill. There are coat dresses, long coats, cloaks, gloves, warm woolen tunics, thick pants. Everything seems well established for the climb. You see that there are two older women one is behind the counter, one is in front of the counter. They both seem to be knitting. You can tell where many of the Wren's wools are from, and they appear to be gossiping with one another. Their voices kind of low and hushed.
Before we move on from it, I just want to point out that Alex is super cool and said climb as short for climate. It took me a little bit to put that one together, but I thought that was pretty nifty.
That's actually a word for it, if I recall correctly.
It probably is. I liked it.
Well, thank
But
you,
it did take
Alon.
me a second. I was like, the climb? We climbing?
It's not about what you find on the other side, it's the climb.
So I rolled for Solinar to like passively try and pick up some of this gossip in the room. I did get a nat 1, so I think instead of passively picking up gossip in the room, Solinar walks in, immediately starts rifling through clothes, hears them talking and goes, "Ooh, gossip."
They kind of jolt for a moment, not expecting you to be there. Sorry, I didn't expect anyone to be here. Can I help you, sir?
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just looking for a couple of outfits and then some gifts for friends.
Oh. She kind of like eyes you up and down. That's very southern attire you seem to have.
Yeah, well, you go where business takes you.
I sure understand. Oh, of course. Anyway, let's see.
She do declare.
What all would you need? She's going to, start folding together some, odds and ends, some, scarves and socks and gloves and things like that.
So Solinar's plan, I don't think we need to play this out in its entirety, but Solinar's plan is to act as if he's getting 3-ish outfits for himself, one of which will be a little large, in case he's wearing bulky armor. Mm-hmm. And then,
as we all know, you wear your big bulky armor under your sweater.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense to me. You don't want to get frost all over your big bulky armor. And then he's going to get one set that he is going to, if questioned on, act as if is for a child, and one set that he is going to act as if is for a girlfriend.
You're not really questioned a whole lot, and after a couple of gold coins skitter across the counter, you're able to take your woolen package out and back onto the cart. Unfortunately, you seem to miss whatever it was they were talking about, but you kind of pick up the vibe outside that quite a few of the townsfolk seem to be kind of whispering to each other in sort of this hushed tone.
Can we get some whispering Foley? Rutabaga. Cabbage.
Hushed tone.
I'm actually trying to make this usable for Gabe.
I feel grounded.
This was our worst ASMR episode ever.
Mm-hmm. And also our best, so that really tells you something.
But there seems to be this sort of kind of nervous energy between the soldiers milling about and the townsfolk all whispering. It kind of paints this tense image. Overhead, there's a small shadow that you see cast over the ground. And you hear a weird guttural shriek.
This would be familiar to us, wouldn't it? On account of Grun and his boys.
You would be familiar with the sound of a wyvern. There's someone astride it, and it appears to be patrolling.
I'm gonna try rolling perception, because I imagine Solinar as well, would be curious, is it someone from Ocean Var, or is it someone from the Boris Empire? And I got a 19.
So you're able to tell that it's a black wyvern that's being astrode by a woman in armor. You can tell from a distance that she has really long hair, almost the length of her full body, braided in a black train behind her. That's really all you're able to tell, but woman, really, really long hair, armor, and black wyvern is enough to let you know that's probably one of the Barosian Knights.
Yeah, I was about to ask if maybe she seemed a little more decorated than the average soldier.
Much like Barosia days.
Somewhere, somebody and it may be 20 years from now, somebody listening to this has compiled all the references to Aladdin on the podcast since Alex has started saying Barosian Knights or Alarian Knights.
It's jumped 768%.
Just in this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
I think making sure that there's not a lot of, I imagine there's some foot traffic, but not folks right alongside the wagon. Solinar is going to the wagon at large, be like, well, it appears that we have esteemed guests in the sky, which is to say, people who might work in the palace as guards. I'm talking Barosian Knights, y'all.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my favorite vegetarian dish, the Guardian.
Oh. I want to hear about this
man.
dish now.
I love it.
I must know. What is this dish?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, do you know turnips?
Yes, deeply familiar with turnips.
Deeply. Turn them up. Here's the deal. You don't dig them. You think about it, you don't do it. You leave them in the ground. What you do is you go up to them and you tickle the tops of them where the green's sticking out, and then they go, ha ha, and then they laugh themselves out. And then you have to catch them at that moment of mirth. And then what you do is you take, again, you've already done this beforehand. This is the prep work. Have the limes, hollow them out, take the zest part gone, the lime rind, and you catch the turnip in that, right?
Johanna's dead ass eating mandrakes.
When that happens, you take them and then you immediately, you gotta have your onion at 475, and then you wang jangle them in there, and then you have to sprinkle them mostly with salt, a little bit of pepper, and then you'll be doing more pepper later. And then you leave them in for 33 minutes. And then when they're done laughing, tasty. Best dish.
Yeah, I think Johannes is eating mandrakes.
Guardians. Really good.
I've had turnips a lot of ways, but never giggling. That makes me nervous. That
really tasty.
Speaking of the
sound
giggling
like turnips
turnip,
I
which is
know.
a great name for a vegetarian tavern, you guys are going to need to figure out a place for your friends to transform inconspicuously, and potentially a place to spend the night.
If we can find somewhere that's like a warehousing area in town, which I presume is not super near the port, but is probably accessible from the port without doing anything complicated, then we could set up there and do our transformations.
Koza, what are you doing as you ferret about?
Oh, I've just been asleep on top of Brandon's a shambling mound.
No, I'm a shambling hound.
Yeah, shambling hound. As
I
I
like how
said.
you said Brandon's and not Boats.
Sorry. Boats.
It's Brandon now. It's Brandon got isekai'd into QPR.
Help, I've been reincarnated as a mushroom, and now I wander Virion.
Yeah, so I'm asleep on top of Boat's shambling hound.
You're going to be able to find a warehouse district fairly easily, or whatever approximates one in this area. People are looking at you guys and your frankly alarming menagerie with confusion, interest, suspicion, mild panic, severe nausea. There's a couple of emotions that the townsfolk seem to be responding to you guys, and the nausea really seems to kick in when they see the shambling mound mushroom creatures.
That's their problem.
There's like one point where Solinar has to hang off the back of the cart because these kids keep running up and trying to get closer to the shambling mounds, and he's like, "Hey, you watch yourselves."
An hour has since passed and your friends have transformed back into their normal shapes. You have successfully infiltrated the Empire.
We've successfully infiltrated the Empire.
Well,
Wait.
I don't know that I'd say it that loud, but yeah.
Now what?
Well, let's see. What time of day is it? And Solinar tries to peer up through, I presume, overcast skies.
It's overcast, gray, and kind of bleak.
I think it's bleak.
Punctuated by the woman circling the town on a wyvern.
I mean, there is that.
I like how just the Witch King of Angmar is just orbiting this place.
Is the sun somewhere? Can Solinar tell where the sun is?
You think
in
you're probably
rotation?
about late midday, late afternoon.
There's a part of me that wants to find out more about this city, but there's an even larger part of me that's like, we should get the hell out of here. The only thing I can think of that would be really good to know is where the slaving vessels are taking people. And I feel
what makes that so good to know? So then we could stop that whole process?
pretty much. So we could light a nice big old fire in whatever that facility is, maybe free some people, and then mosey. The only problem with that is that would be causing chaos and drawing attention to ourselves on the way in.
Yeah.
And I think probably we want to be causing chaos and drawing attention to ourselves on the way out, if anything.
Boot in the boot.
Yeah. Don't forget, everybody, that if things get really, really bad, we have that pearl from the Queen and Marine. The one that if we crush it, all of us and everything surrounding us for something like, I think she said like 10 feet, will get teleported back to Marine instantaneously.
Whoa. Okay, wow. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I have a strong feeling we're going to end up needing it while we're here. So, just, if you see a situation like that a-brewing, then let's make sure we all get into one place so we can escape. I say we get the hell out of town. I would like to try to save people, but I think if we're really mission first, then saving people has to come after that.
I think I'm agreeing with you right now. I'm trying to kind of navigate through this whole situation. But I think that now that we don't have a menagerie of animals that we're trying to smuggle in, now that we got here, I really don't 100% even can think of what we do next, because I know we need to meet the king and get the crown, but I don't know, how the heck do you get it with the king? Those guys are hard to get to.
Well, and don't forget that we promised that one Alarian knight that we were going to beat up that one Barosian knight while we were here.
We might be able to embellish that part of the story when we get back.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that really a priority? Is beating up somebody's ex-boyfriend?
Well,
I want to beat up somebody's ex-boyfriend.
In my notebook, I took, and Solinar flips it open, we need to smack the stupid smug look off his stupid smug face. So, we don't have to, kill him or anything. We just have to make sure that he knows that, he messed up.
It's in the notebook.
Yeah, it's one of our objectives.
I feel like that objective doesn't really jive so well with your immediately preceding statement that maybe we should not worry about saving the people and instead focus on the mission.
Well, I presumed that there would be an opportunity for this as part of the mission. I'm also hoping that saving people has a strong opportunity as part of the mission. That's my anticipation. But I'm saying, priority-wise, we've got accomplishing the mission, getting the crown, getting to the temple, and getting out of the Barosian Empire. Then, underneath that, saving people, making sure that anybody who's been brought here against their will gets an opportunity to escape. Then, below that, we've got create as much chaos and confusion as possible across the countryside. And then, just below that, not much, but I think just below that, is we need to smack the stupid smug look off of this stupid smug face of this one Barosian knight. I feel like that's a pretty efficient list.
We got a lot to do, but we've got exactly the right people to do it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, me too. I think, so here's where I'm at. They've got that one lady that's circling the city, clearly looking for something. Would not be surprised to find that it's us. So maybe what we do is we sort of wander around a little bit near the edge of town, and then when she passes by on her patrol, then we book it north.
Do you really think it's us, Solinar? I feel like if there's somebody who was flying around looking for somebody, my first thought is, well, probably not me. Because she already saw me.
Well, yeah, but she didn't know that she saw you, is my thing. Because we were in the city, we could have been any old wagon at that point. But at the point that we're a wagon headed north out of the city, then,
changes
it's like,
the whole dynamic.
Well,
where's that wagon going?
isn't there gonna be some regular caravans heading in and out?
Do you think so? I mean, if there is, we could jump aboard one of those and be like, oh, we're also a wagon headed to the capital.
Well, I guess we should find out about that.
I guess we could ask around and see if there's anybody headed north.
Maybe
Or we
there'll
could
be
join their
something
wagon
in a
train?
tavern.
Dusty old capital wagon trail.
There would probably be like a market hall or something, right? Like where all the merchants convene, right?
Yeah, there would be the market square. There are probably a couple of taverns that a lot of the traveling merchants frequent. There's a couple of places you could go.
I think people who wanted to, I think Solinar, I feel like would be good at like fact finding.
Like going out there and just figuring out what we can do in terms of hitching a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think we should all go because then,
That defeats the whole purpose of that polymorph.
Exactly. So if like one other person wanted to come with, I think that'd be smart. I don't think any of us should be going anywhere alone.
I think Boat should go with you.
I can go with you.
Oh. You sure, Koza?
You got any ideas, Boat?
I think we should just sort of bide our time and not call any attention to ourselves whatsoever, especially considering you entered the city as sort of a known entity.
Yeah.
Under your real name.
Yeah. So we should maybe try to make some allies.
Yes, we should do the opposite of what I suggested just now.
Like, my thought is that maybe we could bide our time by going to the bar and being like, hey, what's everybody up to? Anybody like...
It's your boy.
Yeah. Anybody not like the Empire? Is there anybody who's like, yeah, it's not my favorite?
Yeah, we could go in wearing like t-shirts that say God save the Alarian Queen as well.
Yeah, that's not gonna raise issues with the soldiers that are around.
This seems like this wouldn't raise issues with the soldiers that are around.
Especially the terrifying one orbiting the town on a mini dragon.
Or we could not raise suspicion, which I think you said earlier. That might be, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe a better idea.
Let's just wait till they get back and they can tell us if we're going to be able to get out of the town safely.
Do you think it's a better? That's a better idea in the short run for sure. But if we think about the long run, what do you think we could do that would support? I'm thinking, so if we can't find allies at the local watering hole because of somebody flying around who does not appreciate that, where can we? Do you think we could? Do you think we could get licenses for smuggling people out? Maybe.
I don't think you get licenses for smuggling. I don't think that's how that works.
Oh, okay. Well then, what if we maybe we get if we can't get a license, what's like the opposite of getting a license?
Going to jail?
What if we go to jail? We can scout it out. So that way that way we kind of like have it down and we're like, okay, so this is what jail is. We got that covered. So if anything happens, we'll know how to navigate that. Or we could lay low. I think that was also...
I think I've got some snacks in my pack here. Here, why don't you have a juice? I'm going to sit here.
I think I'm low blood sugar, Bo. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to eat some of your citrus fruit.
Yeah, you're right. I just want to be helpful. And now that we're here and everybody else is doing things, I think I'm just feeling a little left out.
The most helpful you can be right now is by waiting here.
Okay, I'll do that.
So Koza and Solinar, you two enter in the market square and you hear a bit of a ruckus coming from a nearby tavern. It seems kind of like rhythmic. It doesn't seem like there's a fight going on, at least what you can hear. And the market itself seems not exactly like slammed, but it is. People are buying eggs and selling bread and, picking up vegetables for the day. Like, it seems like people, for all of the horror you've heard of the Boris Empire, live normally. If maybe a little sparsely.
All right. I think we should check out that ruckus, but before we check out that ruckus, we should pick code names.
Oh, how about, do you want to be, Mungar?
Ooh, Mungar.
Yeah, Mungar.
The powerful sounding name. Is that Oceanvarian? What is that?
Oh, I mean, I guess, yeah. Is it good?
I think it's good. And then you can be, I would, no, not, no, I think you would be a good, what if you were like Rendland?
Rendland, okay. I bet Rendland, probably sounds something like, hello, I am Rendland. Do you think that sounds right? Is that Rendland?
Oh yeah, that's really good. I didn't know you could do voices. Oh, and then I guess I should probably, I don't have to do a voice, but if I'm gonna be Mungar, I should probably be like, I'm Mungar. Like,
pleased to meet you, Mungar.
Yes.
Hell
excellent. Excellent to meet you as well, Rendland.
Yes.
I gotta really, really like macho it up a little bit, because those Oceanvari the champions that we were up against.
As the two of you decide upon your code names and walk into the tavern, the ruckus that you hear are the patrons slamming their hands rhythmically on the table, or in some cases slamming their tankards rhythmically on the table. One or two of them seem to be dancing around on one of the counters, and they seem to be singing some kind of like bawdy tavern song. But it appears that most of the people here are themselves merchants, based off of how they dress and act and the food that's before them. There's an energy to this room, and you see there is one man that appears to be kind of like leading the song. He stands about 6 foot, 6'1". He has this sort of mustard saffron yellow scarf that's woven around his neck and sits gently on top of his breastplate. He's wearing this beautiful shining armor and this similarly yellow tunic underneath it. His head is shaved pretty close to his scalp, but leaves just enough there that it could probably be appropriately called a buzz cut. He seems to be kind of leading this whole tavern event going on.
I think Solinar is just going to try and grab an open seat at a table where there's 2 open seats, and just like slide into an open space and then join the rhythm of the song that's being sung without knowing any of the lyrics. So like trying to do the like hand slapping on the table.
The song ends with sort of this like cheer amongst everybody, and everyone sort of descends into conversation. The man in the scarf turns and kind of talks to the barkeep a little bit, but appears to be more or less kind of on his own. Koza, Solinar's going to kind of be straining around trying to hear things, but Koza, you are very specifically going to overhear perhaps an echo of being a ferret only, half an hour ago. You're going to hear in hushed whispers a couple of the merchants talking about the increased military presence in both this town and the capital, as well as increased military presence in the town between here and there. It's a generally straight shot, but from what these people are describing, it's going to be crawling with soldiers the whole way through. They talk about how this increased military presence is new and what it might mean for their trade, but you're getting the broader scope that they're not sure why it's happening at all.
Hmm. So they don't get that there's like a build up to war or anything like that, or do they know that is it something different?
You're not sure. They're speaking to one another. They're familiar with their own backgrounds. They're not going to give that kind of context, but it's clear that they're not expecting the military to be to this level where it is.
I think the reason Solinar's not hearing anything is that he nudges the guy beside him and he's like, "Oh, good night for drinks, eh?"
Oh, you are not incorrect, sir. It is a wonderful, wonderful night for drinks.
We found the guy.
And then I think Solinar's going to start by chatting the guy up, essentially by being like, if there's an accessory on the guy, being like, "Oh, nice watch you got there. What's up with that? It's got a story."
Oh yes, I got this watch down into Lair. I'm very proud of it. It was a gift, you see, for a trade contract gone well.
Step right up. Step it up.
Yeah, I really like the idea of him being like, it's a gift for a trade contract gone wrong.
Oh, no.
Why don't he's an assassin?
So tell me, what type of trade do you do?
Oh, I supply medicines, my good man. Different kinds.
Medicines?
Yes, sir. I have a miracle cure for almost anything that ails you.
What is the... What medicines have you been delivering lately?
Well, honestly, sir, a lot of what I've been delivering has to do with poultices and potions of healing. A lot of direct stuff being bought up by the capital.
Oh, are you sending any shipments to the capital soon?
Why, yes, my good man, I have a series of solves going straight to Venturion.
Oh, we're looking for a caravan to join to the north.
What business are you in, my good man?
Oh, the delivery of, should I say, mushrooms.
Mushrooms, you say, good sir? I might need to make a contract with you. I often need them for my various poultices and balms.
Oh, yes. Well, if you allow us to travel with your caravan, perhaps we can talk more business.
Is there any chance you might talk about business an iota faster?
No.
I respect that. I respect that a lot.
I respect a man who knows who he is. So, the agreement struck, I guess. You guys have a heading?
We're gonna travel with this snake oil salesman all the way up to the capital.
Well, my good man, I believe your associate and I can all meet together and head up to the northern part of the city, and we'll head up north. It'll be a wild time.
Yes, quite wonderful. I'm very excited.
You know, I have an elixir that might help you with your line delivery.
Oh, you'll have to...
Everybody's a critic, man.
Oh no, I'm quite alright. Quite alright.
Sounds good enough for me.
Oh, I love this guy.
After about an hour or so, and is there anything last minute you guys want to do?
Solinar, I don't think I can do that voice anymore. I can't do that voice anymore. That was That was too much. I shouldn't have even tried. That was terrible. How am I supposed to keep talking like that? I was so worried. I was so nervous. I just the words kept on coming out so fast. But did they even sound right? I was. Solar, was that any good? It felt so bad.
No, you did great, Koza. You did great. Now, what I'm gonna say is that you have picked a voice for your personality that you are going to have to maintain the entire time we're traveling up to Venturion. So I don't know if that, based on the map, I'm guessing that's like a 3-day trip, maybe 4, but I don't know if that's maybe a week because maybe the road looks clearer than it is. So, just be ready to really, really maintain that voice and presence.
Oh God. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Oh God.
You got this. Look, if it comes down to it, what we'll do is we'll tell the guy that you only take meetings at specific times because you're just that kind of businessman. And then, you can have tea or something that allows you to, slow the conversation down a little bit, we don't have to rush any of this.
Okay, I guess I'll be relying on you.
We got this. This will be great. Honestly, this will be great.
So you return to your party members and deliver the news. You have a caravan to travel with. Now, all you need to do is get to the capital, find your way into the castle, and steal the crown off of the Emperor's head.
Easy.
Ding dong bing bong. Who's bringing you this episode of Quid Pro Roll today? Well, it's the delightful people at our Patreon, including Kira Mays. Thank you so much. Marion Klatt, you are awesome. I'm so grateful that you exist. Natalia Pearson, you're heckin' awesome. I never seen a more awesome person. Olivia Latham, you're the best. Thank you. Sean Britton, I am in debt to you. I owe you a life debt and or a beer, your choice. Sith Lord Dippy, man, I couldn't have dippied without you, and I'm really thankful. Wolf Daddy 72, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you, Daddy. And yes, Mountain. Yes, Mountain. These are awesome. You guys are great. Thank you for making Quid Pro Roll possible. Literally, I'm so grateful. So, thank you from me. I'm Alon, and I'm thanking you on the post roll, making it too long, and Gabe is gonna be mad at me. But I love you so much, I couldn't do it without you. Ooh. Thank you.
Because I know the two of you, write down these names right now.
Sorry,
because
I can't
you
find a
will
pencil.
not remember them. Then type it into your phone.
No.